and he needs to basically get drones to block the entrances to next to the Sunkens. Oh man, Backho is not in a good position. Hyuk has got this. Hyuk has definitely got this battle here. Oh man, Backho in a whole funnel right there. Basically, Backho's decided to go into the back alley, and there he's just basically got trapped, bottlenecked. Now it looks like the Zealots might kill off a couple more Hydras, but the Sun Colonies and the Hydras in the choke point have done, I think, pretty much enough there to mitigate this rush. I don't think this rush is going anywhere. There's 2 Zealots in the main. Now there's 3 Zealots on the right side. All right, so are there any units? Oh man, that is perfectly fine. It's a-okay there. Backho is, I don't think, has really succeeded in this at all. I mean, he did do this to be speed lot rush. Now, it's going to be about Hyuk's reaction time here. The battle was a defeat for Backho, but Hyuk needs to figure out a reaction strategy to defeat this, because Backho still has, 2 bases. He's going to be far away from observers, though. He doesn't have a robo, of course, and he's also going to be far away from Templar tech, because he's somehow decided to transfer tech into mass Corsairs, I believe, at least indicated by those 2 Stargates. So Lurker play should be very useful at this point. And certainly mass Hydras could be useful once you mass up a significant amount, once Hyuk does. Backho is just hoping right now that he can perhaps build that Corsairs can just be a surprise to Hyuk, maybe. And Hyuk could just get killed by loss of Overlords. I don't know about that, though. I really don't think that's a brilliant idea. Generally, you only see 2 Corsairs when you're going to do, Corsair DT, quote-unquote, the Bisu build, or even more likely, you're going to see that when you're doing Corsair Reaver, and you're doing also, really, the Bisu build, because Bisu does that the best also. And that can often just be very powerful, getting those Corsairs to protect the shuttles from the Scourge. And there's a lot of Corsairs, as we see. I'm not too sure what Backho is doing, though, to be absolutely honest. I don't know if Jaedong put him up for this, because Jaedong basically, I mean, to put it indelicately, Backho is basically Jaedong's bitch. And I've heard rumors that's the reason why Jaedong stayed on Hwasanaz, is because he likes having a bitch. Not the money issue, it was just a bitch issue. Anyway, so... Sorry, that was indelicate, but it's pretty much true. There's pictures of both of them naked in a shower. I mean, from the waist up at least. It's pretty gross if you find them. And I have no idea why they are, but, obviously Jaedong is the man in that relationship. There is a lot of Lurkers and Lings and Hydras. This is definitely what Hyuk needs. This is definitely exactly, I think, the right counter here. Good mixture of units. Once the Lurkers get in the way, there's nothing that Backho's going to be able to do. Oh no, but what are you doing, Hyuk? He loses a Lurker there just from Zealot surrounds, and is he going to have enough Scourge to deal with the Corsairs is another question. Looks like, oh no, another Lurker gets killed just as it's about to sink down. Only 2 cannons in the front, but now the force is so greatly weakened that I don't think Hyuk can break in now. Hyuk right now has also lost a lot of Overlords to the Corsairs. This could help with the DTs. This is very interesting. It looks like we're going to see a late DT build here. I don't think this is going to be successful, or I don't think it should be successful. Hyuk right now is not behind. What he could do, in fact, is just defend that new base, that mineral-only base, and put some Overlords and Hydralisks there, and that should take care of any DT Corsair combination. And this map is not as spread out as some of the maps where DT Corsair Bisu build was so successful back in the day. Like Longinus was a great example, where Savior just got ripped apart by it. In the MSL finals, of course, that year. Anyway, it looks like there are a lot of Corsairs. They're taking a lot of heat, though, from the Hydralisks. One goes down without taking on any more Overlords, and there's the DT snapped off before it does any damage. So Backho is continuing to go with the strategy here of building lots of Zealots. Very mineral heavy, and I'm not sure exactly if that's going to be effective. He has won all the battles. Well, he has won the last battle, rather, because the Lurkers weren't positioned well, but I'm not sure if this could be said every time. I think that Lurker might die there. Nope, okay. Zealots didn't do enough damage, but it will get stormed to death now. Backho still, though, has managed to get out of his base. That's what I'm surprised by, that Hyuk was unable to set the contain up last time. I think a little bit of better micro, and he would have been able to stop this, stop any egress from the base. Basically, he could have trapped Backho in there, and Backho wouldn't have that 6 o'clock expansion at this point, the 3rd base. The Corsairs are still doing all right. I think some Scourge could help at this point, but Backho, Hyuk might decide just not to care at this point. He has just working on this ground army, and he's got some decent air defense, anti-air defense, so he can just drag his overlords around to the Hydras. And right now, there's a large army coming down towards Backho. Backho is going to need good storms to fight this one off, I think. There's a couple more overlords going down. That was pretty effective there, because those were previously pretty damaged. Uh-oh, Lurkers are going to get in the transferring probes. Oh, this is going to be brutal here. Everything getting stormed and spined, and I can't even tell who's going to win this. It does look like Backho's storms are quite good. He's managed to retreat also with a majority of his forces, and looks like he's killed most of Hyuk's Lurkers. There's a couple of observers out now, so it's the detection won't be an issue. But there's Hyuk pushing down into the new base. He's got about 12 Hydras, no reinforcements along the way, but he may profit from just clicking on the Nexus and killing off the Nexus. I think that might be the best plan right now, Hyuk. Don't make the mistake you did in the past, man. When I first called you Hyuk, of course, when Hyuk Hyuked himself, he could have killed off the Nexus. Instead, he chased a bunch of probes instead. Oh no, Hyuk, come on, aim for the Nexus, dude. Kill the Nexus. Well, it looks like he may have actually had enough forces to kill off the reinforcements, but he really should just target the Nexus. I think it actually will go down because the reinforcements were not enough to finish off the Hydras, the dozen or so Hydras. So Hyuk wins his battle decidedly, although I still think at some points he should have just clicked the Nexus, man, done this, as we see. Basically because he doesn't need to win, save these units perhaps, if he can just prevent Backho from picking up that third base. He's already got the game locked down. I mean, 4 base versus 2. But now, of course, this is even better. He is succeeded in both fighting off the army, saving his army, and also in killing off the Nexus. So huge economic advantage here. Hyuk is probably not going to piss this away. Hopefully not. There's a bunch of Hydras trying to get a surround, actually. Nice work there, getting some even behind. Although I think morphing the Lurkers right in the front there probably... Well, actually, that might have been a good move, in fact. Now I'm thinking of it. Maybe it was to act as blockers. I don't know what goes inside of Hyuk's mind. Hyuk probably doesn't even know. And GG comes from Backho. So Backho succumbs to Hyuk, who's moving on to fight off against Hwasun. That's going to be fascinating. Don't forget, Hyuk defeated Hwasun in the STX SKT1 match as part of his 4-game sweep of that best of 7, and I'm sure Hwasun is itching for some revenge here, along with everyone at STX. I mean, just humiliated by someone who was considered a joke previously, but now is turning into sort of a powerhouse. So stay tuned, guys, for the next couple of games. Hyuk is now going to be going to the winner's game.